Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my bike build, and you're watching the KR Moto channel. Okay guys, I did the chem dip. And this is what we got going on here. We got the pistons soaking over here. I've had them in there for probably an hour. And so you can kind of tell I left one open here. I mean, look at that. That was just freaking amazing. So I'll probably leave them in there a little bit longer. Let my hands off here. And also, what I did is I took the starter off, took that out so I could get ready to crack the case, but I wanted to show you guys something here. So basically, if you remember in my earlier videos, steady the camera here, let me turn this gear around here, this thing, turn it around here. So right there, look at that, you can see that missing the tooth. I don't know how this thing was just starting so good. I mean, it was just starting up with no problem. I never even noticed the issue with it, and no issue. But what it did, as you can see that it scarred up the hub right here. Messed it up really bad right there. Well, not really bad. Over exaggeration a little bit. But yeah, that's what it did to that. And then it took out some of the padding here that runs on to the magnetics onto your stator coil up in here. But I got a whole new starter clutch, a whole new hub, so we don't have to worry about that. And I did a little bit of cleaning up on the engine here before I cracked the case open. So yeah, and again, my objective is to get these pistons all cleaned up. Yeah, so I've got them all soaking. I wanted to crack one of them open so I could show you what the chem dip is doing after an hour, and it's amazing, guys. But anyways, that's what I got going on here. And okay guys, this is after about an hour 15 minutes into the chem dip, and you can see, look at how amazing that piston looks. It's absolutely clean. Look at that. Looks wonderful. So, and then what I did is I took some of this, some Scotch-Brite, and I cleaned up the wrist pin. I just took some of the discoloration off, but I cleaned that up. But what we're going to do is we're going to put that right back down in there like that. I'm going to put this piston right back in there. Number 4. I'm going to keep going. Anyways, you guys seen piston number 4. Piston number 3, success. There's a little bit of stuff right there on there, but you can see what the Berryman's chem dip did. You could get this, I think, at AutoZone or Baxter's, but you can see how it turned out. And I'm just going to continue. Get the underneath of it there. It's hard to get all the way down in there. I did let them soak for a long time, and they were filled up quite a bit. But anyways, we're going to go from there. Alright guys, this was my last piston here that I just cleaned up. There's a little stain right there. Look at that. But you can see how good the Berryman's did. Definitely worth the 22 bucks. You can see they got a wrist pin. I just took the Scotch-Brite to it. Barely rubbed it. Alright guys, now that I got those all in place and cleaned up, and they're in there in their own little containers, What I'm going to do next is I'm going to clock the piston heads, and then I'm going to get my rings out and put them on there, and probably soak the pistons in. I'll put a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil in there and just let them sit in there and soak for a little bit. Alright guys, my objective is to get all this stuff cleaned out of here, so when I crack the case open, I don't want a bunch of debris inside the casing. A little bit more easier to work with instead of having to clean like I'm doing now, so I might as well do it now. So yeah, that's my objective, to get all this cleaned out. You see, I got that seal right there for my shaft drive where my counter sprocket goes, and I'm going to do a little bit more cleaning on this, and then we are going to clock the pistons so we can get the rings on there. Got the starter housing all cleaned out in there. I need to get the bolts a little cleaner, but I'm just going to wipe those off. I'm going to use the stock bolts. There's no reason to go nuts on those. So you can see pretty well I've got the engine pretty well clean. When I crack the case, that's when I'm going to clean this stuff off here, because I don't have to worry about debris getting down inside the engine and whatnot. I've got a complete gasket kit for it, seal kit. And then I'm kind of excited about cracking this thing open to see what it looks like, the transmission, make sure all the gears are okay and nothing's broken in there. I ain't got nothing broken off like I did the starter clutch. Make sure the gears are good. No metals in there or nothing. Of course, it is normal to find, when you rebuild a motor, it is normal to find really fine pieces of metal in there, like sparklies inside the engine when you first break it in. And that's why I suggest, after you've broken the motor in, change it after 1,000 miles, like that bike there. So, okay guys, I want you to take a look at this. This is from low maintenance on your chain. And so basically what happens is your counter sprocket, it sits there and it moves around like this, or back and forth, usually back and forth. If it's wobbling back and forth in either direction, it takes a toll on your spline teeth right here on your counter shaft. And basically what you hope for, what they would like to happen is that the counter shaft sprocket, the teeth wear out first. But this is what you got to check for maintenance. You see them shiny marks right there? So anyway, I've replaced mine and it fits a lot tighter on there. But before I changed it, you could kind of feel it moving back and forth a little bit, and it did wear the teeth out on the counter shaft sprocket. So basically, you want to check that at least, when you're adjusting your chain. Just pop the casing off. It's not hard. You got a couple of bolts here. There's 4 of them on here. Just remove the casing, check it, move it back and forth this way, and then up and down like that, and make sure that it ain't doing that. If it's doing that, you need to replace that. But that's another maintenance tip. So, but anyways, what I did here is I cracked the top bolts up here to the casing, got all those done, got everything loosened up on the top and all that stuff. So we're looking good there. And then also what I did was I actually clocked the top of the pistons here, and there's many ways to do this. You can choose not to do it. This is just the way I do it. So basically I just drew a Y up here so I could clock my rings, and it gives me a reference point where to set the gap on there. So because you don't want them, gap on gap. You want to make sure that they're opposite. So you set a gap here. Basically you don't want no gaps where the wrist pins are at, so that's where your wrist pin sits. So you basically just want to draw yourself a reference point there. I know I got it kind of a little crooked, but it's just something that I can use as a reference. So basically that's probably going to end my video for tonight. Got a lot of stuff done, especially it took a while soaking the pistons and getting them all cleaned up and scrubbing them up, making them look nice. But anyways, guys, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And thanks for watching my videos. Appreciate it. And have yourself a good night.